Living in Finland is really fun. It's a very modern country, so anything that you can find here in the stores in the States, you can pretty much find in Finland. Sometimes even better quality in Finland. It just depends. So they have toothpaste, they have toothbrushes, they have any type of medical needs that you need, they have medicine there. If there's certain things that you prefer in the States, then take it with you. Like if you like facial wash or toothpaste. I prefer American toothpaste than Finnish toothpaste, but the Finnish toothpaste isn't bad. It still does the job. But Finnish living is relatively the same as here in the States. So in Finland, you will have your own apartment, and it is so nice. All the apartments are so nice. We felt like we were spoiled that they were so nice. And they have their own kitchen. You get to make your own food if you don't have a whole lot of DAs. There are a lot of members who love feeding the missionaries. So typically in a week, we would have anywhere from 3 to 6 or 7 dinner appointments. And sometimes we had one every single day. Some weeks we had maybe just 1 or 2. But every week you will have at least 1 dinner appointment. And because the members just love you. And whenever you go over to a Finn's house, it's kind of cultural that they will give you something to eat. Whether it's a meal or whether it's just a snack, they will give you something. And so you never go hungry, and rather you end up being very full most of the time. The living conditions, you have a wonderful apartment with your wonderful companion, and it's so fun being with a companion. Just even though you're with the same person 24/7, it's really fun. You get to know them. They become your second self almost. They're your best friend, and you get to learn and grow from them, because they will point out things that will maybe be hard for you to recognize in yourself, but you'll be able to take it and see how you can learn from it. And those are some of the sweetest experiences that I've had, is finding those little things that maybe are keeping me from becoming the best self I can be. And sometimes it's really hard to recognize those things in ourselves, but when you're with a companion, they help you in so many different ways. They see things that maybe you can't see, and they're so fun. I remember some of my favorite experiences with my companions. We would skip down a road singing hymns at the top of our lungs when no one was on the street to hear us. Or with one of my companions, during Christmas time, we would go to the center of the city and we would sing Christmas hymns and Christmas songs, and people loved it. It was so much fun. Another time we would just go and do service for people, and you and your companion get to experience life at the fullest. It's all of what you make of it. And so if it comes when a time when you feel like you really have a hard companion, think of what you can learn from them, and it changes the entire experiences that you have.
Helsinki is a great place. I served there for about 4 months at the beginning of my mission, and there's just so many cool places. I mean, you can always kind of go and explore the city, which is a lot of fun. It's probably it's the biggest city in Finland, which is, so there's a whole lot of things to do. There's the big town center, which is great because they have these little streetcars that you can take all over the city, which is very accessible. And missionaries, especially that serve there, usually have some sort of a tram pass, and so you can kind of just get on and get off whenever you need to. But it's really, the public transportation there is really great. As far as things to see, I mean, there's the Kauppatoori, which is like the big market, which is right next to the sea. You can go there and get just like some food, some really good Finnish food, also just some souvenirs. It's kind of a touristy place, but really cool place to be. And then there's a little island that you can go to called Suomenlinna, which is actually where we used to play like capture the flag and stuff as missionaries on P-days, which is just a lot of fun. Like it's a really cool old castle that they used to have out there. It's like a fortress, and they even have some old cannons that are still there. And it's a must see if you're going to go to Finland, to go out there and play around on Suomenlinna. And there's just a lot of cool history there as well. And the rest of Helsinki, I mean, it's just huge. There's a lot of cool parks that you can go and see, and just a lot of good shopping. But also, I think it's really cool to go up and to see kind of northern Helsinki and up to even into Vantaa, like where the airport is. There's just a lot of cool things, a lot of really cool history around there as well. They've got some great museums, as well as the old Olympic Stadium where they held the Olympics. And so you can kind of just go around there, walk around, and see the city, which is just an amazing place. Outside of Helsinki, there's a lot of and then outside of the big cities, everybody tries to own their own house, and they build them, and it's kind of different. They have their front doors in the backyards, so that's always takes a little bit of getting used to. But mostly in the big cities, and especially in Helsinki, everybody pretty much lives in big apartment buildings. So there's a large apartment living around there. Helsinki is very fast-paced, a lot more fast-paced than the country is. I guess that's not much of a shock. But people are going places, and it's a lot harder to stop somebody and contact them and just say like, hey, we're representatives of the church. Usually they're the ones that are going places pretty quick. So yeah, it's definitely more fast-paced in Helsinki than it is in other parts of the country. And I think, everybody likes to claim, I mean, it's funny because you hear from the Northerners that the people in Helsinki are so like mean and like just very like, very like city people, and then you kind of hear from the people in the South that, I mean, there's like the people in the North are just so out of touch, and like they're just not very, they're not very nice and stuff. So I think that there's just kind of the different cultures from the North to the South. But I mean, overall, it just seems like, I mean, my experience is that everybody's really nice in the North and the South. So Finns are genuinely pretty nice people.